Hey guys, so on the topic of it's assuming you are on board with the difference between being connected to the light of divinity, connected to your soul, connected to your higher consciousness, whatever you want to describe it as. If you have the sense that there's a time when you're connected to all that, and there's times when you're less connected, and that less connected is not as fruitful, it doesn't bring you a feeling, even if you had money and you had all the food you could eat and all these kinds of things, you feel like something's wrong. Like, don't feel good about my money. Well, sorry, hope that wasn't too obnoxious. But obviously, I was holding my phone, didn't want to hold it anymore with a vengeance. So, anyhow, assuming we've got a sense of the difference between the being in the vortex, being out of the vortex. When you're in the vortex, you have a feeling that everything is perfect. It doesn't mean that anything's changed outside of you, but you can feel it. What else do you really want? What's $1 billion in my bank account right now do? I'm still sitting here in the truck, talking on the phone, talking to myself. So it doesn't make any difference. I don't know if I probably wouldn't have, you can see the yellow truck. I probably wouldn't have this yellow truck. I'd have something else. I love this yellow truck. I don't know. What else would I want? So maybe it would be different seats. But anyhow, having the $1 million or not having any of my things I would say are problems would feel like something. It would give you the experience of something. So if you're going to feel like you have unlimited wealth, and you're going to feel like you have unlimited friends, and you have a feel that everything with your business is going perfect, and you have the feeling and the experience of knowing that anything you want to dream up as wanting to do, you can. When you have that feeling, then those things are easier to, you've turned off all the blocks. Now, the universe around you, the light of divinity, your soul, your higher consciousness, the fruits of the vortex, whatever you want to call it, that would all bring everything to you because you'd stop resisting. Because I can't be looking at my bank balance and saying, it's not quite here yet, it's not quite here yet, it's not quite here yet, it's not quite here yet. I'm not complaining. I know it's coming. It's just not quite here yet, not quite here yet, not quite here yet. That's not a sense of peace. Even when the money goes in the bank, I still don't feel it's not all here yet. Is there still more coming? It's not here yet. It's not here. With an awful lot of money in the bank, well, it's not here yet. It's not here yet. That's the block to having anything. Having money or not having money, people feel poor, and having money or not having money, people feel rich. So the sense is the feeling. What does it feel like to have whatever it is you're dreaming of? You got to find that feeling. And that would be the only reason for you to pursue your spirituality, was to chase the feeling of things being perfect. What's the feeling of me being unconditionally loved? What's the feeling of me having no obligation to anyone else around me? Just one of those things I've mentioned, you could sit for the next month and just focus on that one. Because when you focus on one, do the easy one, whatever one interests you. You focus on one thing that you're going to feel the perfection of it without having to look around and see it. I was going to think about some examples, but we don't want to get any tangents. Try to keep these things short. So I'm just inviting you to feel and not expect to see all the time. Doesn't mean I'm going to pretend it's happening. It's not real. I can't pretend that I have money in the bank. Either the bank statement says I do or it doesn't. But if you have a sense of there's no shortage and you'll always have what you need, and yeah, you could spend more if you want to, and it'll just match your needs, wait a minute, I can't just start spending money I don't have in the bank yet. No, you can't. But if you're really deep in the vortex, you could. Because you'd have the faith. That's one of the things Jesus said that we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about. He's like, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, if you had like the tiniest little bit of in the vortexness or a connection to your higher self, what is faith? He's saying a mustard seed's worth of faith can move mountains. So a little bit in the vortex and everything can happen. But you got to get in there through your emotions. You got to feel that money is abundant and unlimited. And to feel it really, here's a rub on it, you have to know that you have to feel worthy of it. That's what I want to say. You have to feel worthy of what the vortex could give you, which is really kind of crazy. That's what it really all boils down to. I don't want to go in there and hold the space of knowing everything is perfect, because that's not me. That's not real. That's not going to happen for me, because I'm not worthy of it. I'm not worthy of the time spent. I'm not worthy of giving up my schedule that I've promised to other people. I'm not worthy of loving myself. I'm not worthy of taking the time to practice loving myself. Whatever. It all comes down to having where you're worthy of it. Well, that's why I say things like, you need to come to the realization that there's no one on the planet, not in the whole universe, that's more important for you to be doing things for and giving up things for and focusing on and loving and putting attention to. You're the only one you're supposed to do that for. And you can say, well, no, I'm all good. Everything's perfect with me. I'm going to go help some other people. Come on. You're not helping anyone if you're not in the vortex. If you're not connected at a really powerful percentage, you're not going to go to someone else and have a really positive influence on them. You're just going to pull them down or hold them down or validate their own funky spot that they're in. There's nothing you can do from out of the vortex that's going to inspire somebody else to be more connected or be more anything positive. So, but anyhow, I think that's all I have to say about that. And it's a topic you can look at from 25 different angles. And I'm just trying to encourage you to focus on yourself. Take the time. Love yourself. I always picture my little Danny body child version of myself pulling me along. What do you want to do right now? And your little pinky doesn't get pulled too hard in any one direction. But a lot of times it's sit down and you sit until all of a sudden, oh, we're going somewhere? Okay. And then you go. And when you sit, when you don't have a place to go, when you're not feeling pulled, you're not feeling, and that's what you're shooting for. But anyway, I don't know if that made any sense to anybody, but I feel it. Those are markers for me, so I'm just feeling it. I'm not sure I'm using any words that make any sense to anybody else. But anyway, how about these words? I love you. See you guys out.